Good morning and welcome to another Think Tank. Today is a rainy day. Hope everyone's doing well. No flooding for everyone. If anyone does have some issues, please reach out to anyone on the leadership team. But I hope you guys are all well. Hopefully this rain passes away and comes again another day and we can get back to business as usual. So today I am talking about a very important topic that comes up this time of year, every single year, where your buyers and sellers want to wait until next year. So if you guys have any comments or questions, please type them in the comments box. I'll address them. But let's kick it off with waiting until next year. What do you say? How do you approach it? First and foremost, let's talk about the buyers. Please explain to your buyers that if everyone takes that approach of waiting because they're stressed out, the common word we use is there's buyer fatigue, where they're tired of losing these offers and they decide to wait. If everyone takes that approach, well, it's going to be very competitive in the spring because everyone's going to pause their search and all start together again in the spring. So why not stay in the market now when everyone's getting out of the market? And that should help, as it should be less competitive in nature if everyone takes the approach of it's the holidays, it's winter, let's pause, let's wait into the new year. So just let them know you want less competition. You don't want to be part of a 15 offer property. Well, don't get out of the market when everyone else is getting out. Stay in the market and hopefully things will be less competitive. Also remind them that it's many people's New Year's resolutions to buy a home. A lot of people wait until that February spring market because they want to transition their kids after the school year and they're trying to time it perfectly. A lot of people get their tax returns, which help fund their purchase. So it is the most competitive time of the year for us as realtors and buyers, etc. That February through spring is really busy. So why try to fish in that pond when everyone else is fishing? Try to fish now in a different pond where a lot of people are exiting the market, taking a break, putting it on pause. So just educate them on that. Also, rates are not likely to go down, right? And they don't have to take our word for it. Listen to any economist, do their own research. Rates have been at historical lows for a while now, and we don't anticipate them creeping down anymore. There's only one way for them to go, and that's most likely up. There's no crash, which a lot of buyers have been mentioning and waiting for and saying it's cyclical. Yes, there could be a market correction, but again, any economist, tell them don't take your opinion, don't listen to friends or coworkers, etc. But listen to the economist, listen to any financial advisors, listen to CNBC, etc. There is no crash coming. Even a correction is not a crash, but the demand is not going away. So it's unlikely that prices are going to dip down or crash as a lot of buyers are waiting. So ultimately, if prices maintain or go up and rates go up, that same house is going to cost them more money. So if you can educate them on that, and again, and I'm saying this 3 times because it's important, people need to get facts from a credible source, and we are not always that credible source to them. We're realtors, we're not economists, we don't forecast, not as well as economists. So have them do their research. It's the according to who, right? Everyone has an opinion, but the according to who sometimes makes a difference. And if it's according to the economists and the experts, that will really help validate the fact that there is no crash coming to the extent that a lot of buyers are waiting for. Last but not least, which is my favorite to get the buyers off the thoughts of waiting until next year, is the rent multiplier. This is the most impactful one to me sometimes, where I tell a buyer, okay, well, what are you paying in rent? And whatever the number they say, if it's $1,800, so if you put it on hold for another 6 months, that's $10,800 that you will be paying your landlord's mortgage, not your own. And how much money are you going to make on that $10,800 that you're paying in rent? Or if it's $2,000 a month, it's $12,000. So I turn around and ask them, how much money will you make on that $12,000 that you're going to pay in rent in 6 months while you put it on hold? and the prices go up as well as the rates go up. And sometimes that helps them have an aha moment. And when they say zero, because obviously the answer is zero, well, then it's, I'd rather you see you take that 10,800, take that $12,000, build your own equity. What would you do with $12,000 in equity? How would that help you down the line, having an extra $10,800 in equity in your pocket versus giving it to your landlord and giving them the equity, right? And it's that mind shift, getting them to self-discover that they're throwing away money renting, they're losing money renting, and it's not helping them achieve their goal of home ownership. So those are some of the conversations to have with buyers to really get them to change gears and take this notion that waiting until next year is going to benefit them. I don't see a benefit whatsoever. So that's buyers. Moving on to sellers. Sellers are a little bit different, of course. And one of the best approaches to start with sellers is to really push that hot button. What's their motivation for selling? What is their goal? Why did they put the property on the market? Why are they considering putting the property on the market? And usually, once you can push that button, it keeps them on track of, I'm here to help you achieve that goal. Whether it's move closer to family, whether it's to get more space, whether it's to downsize or upgrade or move to Florida, relocate to a better location, warmer state, etc. My goal is to help you get there as soon as possible. Of course, working in your time frame, but if that's the goal, putting it on hold, waiting to next year doesn't help you get to that goal, right? And we know this. There is more competition, the same conversation we have with buyers. Yes, there are more homes that go on the market in that February through spring market, but that's also more competition for sellers where buyers have more choices. So buyers having more choices does not help you as the seller. It's a basic supply and demand equation here, where if there's very little supply on the market, it helps you drive your prices up, which is what's happened through the pandemic. Low supply of homes and inventory has driven prices up. If the inventory were 5 times what it was, the prices wouldn't have skyrocketed 15 to 20% year over year. But that conversation is one to have with the seller about supply and demand. You don't want a buyer to have a choice of 5 homes. You'd rather a buyer have a choice between yours and someone else's or just yours. That's what's going to get you more money, not having them choose between 5 homes and which home to make an offer on. Another approach to use is figuring out with their move what the time frame is and if they need a contingency. A lot of times they're nervous because they don't see something, or they're saying, well, there's no homes on the market, I'm not going to find something, so I'll wait. But having that conversation about the home sale contingencies and explaining, if it's a first time buyer's home, that a lot of the buyers that are going to be buying are first time buyers and they won't mind waiting. And sellers usually are in the driver's seat as far as contingencies, so that should help. So having that conversation, also explaining to them some of the basics. Guess what? Thanksgiving is coming and all these other holidays. You don't have to show your home on Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving Eve or even Black Friday the day after if you don't want to. We can block out the days where you have family over, where you need to clean up, you need to cook, or whatever holiday you're celebrating. And sometimes just that peace of mind and reassurance is the hurdle that you have to get over. Yes, no one wants to be having people walking through their house during the holidays, but that week of or the days before, day of, day after, you can cancel or block out showings and not have to be bothered. But there are serious buyers that are willing to come out in the cold around the holidays, and you want those serious buyers and you want the supply and demand equation working in your favor. Also, rates aren't going to stay as low as they are. Same conversation you had with a buyer. So that impact of rates going up will limit the buyer's purchasing power, meaning they're going to be able to buy less of a home or at lower prices, which has a negative impact on the seller's price. So do you want to wait for prices to go up and then you're putting it on the, rates to go up and then you're putting it on the market, or take advantage of this market that we're in now? We don't know what can happen. The buyers that are coming now are more serious. You won't have 60 people in the line to show your house or go look at the house, which no one really wants 60 people. They just need that one qualified buyer. So let's deal with that now versus having the frenzy in the spring, fall. So those are a couple of the conversations, but I think with sellers, getting them to that motivational point of why they decided to put the home on the market is key. And that's really the hot button or the most likely thing that you're going to say that will get them to decide to move forward. So those are my think tank today, Tuesday, thoughts on waiting until next year. I'm just looking at the comments to see if there are any comments. And if either office or any agent has a question or comment later, please chime in. I definitely check these. But thank you for tuning in. Hope everyone's safe and dry. Enjoy the rest of the day. See you next Tuesday, guys. Take care.